So I went to Superstore yesterday. That's ridiculous, but it was a lot better than what I did see. Especially for chicken, it was outrageous in today's economy. But look at that, I got pork ribs. Tonight we're making a pork rib dinner with sweet potato mash and other various yummies. So stay tuned, because I just took this out of the freezer like 4 hours ago. And it is now 4 o'clock. So let's get this ready in the pan, all seasoned, all ready. Okay. Wash your hands like I do, but in every other video I wash them before I do my video. So always wash your hands. Lukewarm water. All right, let's dry them off. Right, let's get stuff started. All right, so now I got everything in there. We're just gonna let it defrost a little bit. And these are my spices that I'll be using. Ground pepper, parsley, a little bit, just a little bit. Think about like probably this much salt on the whole thing. And then my favorite clubhouse, and I'm gonna put some Parmesan on. All right, took these out of the oven. I salt and buttered them. This was after 2 hours, by the way. Salt and butter, pepper, a little bit of my garlic and Parmesan, and my red pepper seasoning. And I did both sides. I massaged it, and then I just added a little bit more brown sugar on top, because why not? And now I'm going to throw them back in the roaster and let them bake. Cover it up. Let's place it back here. Hey everybody, so I'm going to show you how to make sweet potato mash. This is what it looks like. Okay, so this is a sweet potato. This is huge. And sometimes you can get the little ones, but those are actually yams. And yeah. So this is a nice huge sweet potato. As you see, I did cut off both ends. This one was the top and this one was the bottom. So bottom, top. And I'm gonna take my peeler. You can use a knife too, but I'd rather use the peeler. It's a safer method. And we're gonna go from top to midway, and then we're gonna flip this over and do the same thing. We're gonna finish peeling. And then we're gonna dice it after slicing it. And then we're gonna put it in a pot. Then we're gonna salt it, add a little water, rinse it off. We're gonna pour more water in, add just a tiny bit of salt in there. And we're gonna put our potatoes, after peeling them and slicing them, we're gonna put those in the pot as well with the sweet potatoes. And we're going to boil them. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so let's see. There you go. So you go, like I said, down. Make sure you get, like, I love using my peeler, but you could also do it this way, where you use your thumb as a guide. Sorry. And then you can just, like, I always, as soon as the blade gets closer to my thumb, you want to remove your thumb as quick as possible. And there you go. So see? We'll go like this so you see better. Go down, remove. Makes it so much easier. Now you want to get all the bad spots, because you don't want any bad spots. This doesn't have to be perfect, but we want to make sure that this sweet potato has no brown, no spots of any kind. So all clean shaved, much like my legs sometimes, some days, or like most women. Anyways, enough said. Just get it done, shave it nice, you know. All right. Inside female jokes are always the best, especially when you have other women who love to cook and totally understand the concepts, try to be as awesome and yourself and cool at the same time. See, the peelers are so much easier to work with. Like, so much easier than the knives. I used to cook in a restaurant years before I had my stroke, and for some reason somebody, I don't know who, had broken the peeler. So I was left with a knife, and they gave me this shitty fucking doll ass knife to work with, and so they gave me this shitty knife. It was dull. I couldn't cut anything with it. I ended up slicing my thumb by accident. Like, not deep either, but it was so unsafe. I had enough, so I went and bought myself a peeler, like a handheld peeler like this, and I said, enough, this is how it's going to be. I'm going to be the person, like, the cooks are the only people that are allowed to handle this stuff, and that's how it should be. And when I started managing it and managing how things were done and how it was kept and how things were used properly, it made things so much easier to work with. It made so much more sense, and it was well organized. And look at that. Top to bottom, it's a naked sweet potato. Okay, let's chop this bad boy up. All right, so you always want to go down and end, down and end. So when you go down and then end, right? So down, you keep going and add a little pressure, obviously. And I want them about that thick, or try to. Sometimes they don't like to work the way we all want them to, and that's okay. All right. Oh, no, I want you this way. Okay. Work with this for a little bit. So you're gonna half this, and then you're gonna take the half and you're gonna slice it again into a half, so like that. Then you're gonna take one piece at a time, and you're gonna do it by 3. Put it in the pot. 1, 2, sometimes you could do 4s depending on the size of the cut, but I like my sweet potatoes a certain way. So I used to have just regular sweet potato over a nice fire, wrapped in tin foil with a little bit of salt and pepper, and sometimes a little bit of butter. You gotta have butter, right? Because it's like a potato. So potatoes usually have butter, right? And I love that. That's one of my faves. I don't know what everybody else likes with their sweet potato, but if you're original, if you just like sweet potato pie or candied sweet potatoes, that's fine with me too. Like, I used to have that too. Actually, that makes me want to do a video on making homemade sweet potato candy. Because if you know sweet potato candy, you just know, right? Now, I was born and raised Alberta, Canada, but Some of my cooking was from me, and a lot of it was from experiences with my dad and my grandma, because she was such a sweet, nice little old lady who just, she loved everybody. She was so nice with everybody. And I miss her very dearly. And as for my dad, sometimes he still gives me little inspirations for my little meals of the day. But yeah. All right. So we're gonna cut them all. And they're going to fill a little bit of the pot. We're gonna put some potatoes. You can use Yukon Gold. You can use russet, the red skin potatoes. I can't remember what they're called, but that's just because of my stroke. Sucks because it takes parts of my memory. But we're using the whole sweet potato here, so yeah, it's gonna be good. So let's do the potatoes and finish this big ass sweet potato off and put it in the pot. Let's go. So usually I have Diane's Gourmet barbecue sauce, and they come in so many varieties, which I love. I just pulled this out of the oven, and since how I ran out of Diane's, we're using Kraft chicken and rib. And I'm gonna mix this with a little bit of ketchup and a little bit more sorry, my arm. Brown sugar. So yeah. All right. So I got my lid. So you want to do this like a little bit at a time. No. And yeah, no. Just kind of like smooth it on out. Coat it throughout the entire rack as much as possible. And then you're gonna there's an empty space. Dollop. Oh shit. They won't know. Like, how could you know? Just kidding. Anyhow. Smooth that completely out now that I added way too much barbecue sauce. But is there really such thing as enough barbecue sauce? Because even, like, I've seen people that had been on, like, Barbecue Masters and Canada's and America's barbecue king and queen chefs of whatever, and even after they like, oh, it was Grill Masters, after they like seasoned it, throughout, wait, look at that. Oh yes, we're gonna flip it and do the other side anyways. But after they seasoned it and it's all cooked and it's ready to be eaten, even after, they're still having barbecue sauce on the side to add to more barbecue sauce meat. So, is there really enough? Is this like the ketchup thing? Like, who likes ketchup with their steak kind of thing, you know? But that's a different story. And I'll give you my answer next time when I make steak. All right, but for now, let's flip these bad boys over. All right. This one's stuck. Oh yeah, you can so totally tell the difference. Like, look at that. Compared to seasoned, well seasoned, well sauced. And yes, I love meat. And I always trim my meat, even after I get it from the store or the butcher's. I'm taking off that extra fat and shit, because, like, really, is it needed? No. So why is it there? That's, well, our job as cooks, moms, dads who love to barbecue, yes. Calling out them dads, too, because they're freaking amazing cooks. I think parents are, like, the best cooks out there. If I can get it. No. No. I got to get it, boo-boo. Alright. Now let's do this side. So we gotta do this side. Like, look at that. Woohoo! Yeah! Okay. Let's sauce this up. Once again, I put a little bit too much barbecue sauce, but, like, who cares? It's all going to the same place. In the belly. Get in my belly! My baby back ribs. My baby back ribs. Please don't make a meme out of me. Please. If somebody copies that little baby back rib dance, I think that's funny as shit. But, yeah. So, I also have a French onion rib, but that's for, like, beef ribs. That's my personal recipe. And then I have a, oh, y'all would love that. I have a barbecue blueberry pulled pork recipe that I made in, like, years back, but still make it today. Just, yeah. I have to get back into some of my old recipes anyhow, because after having a stroke, I had, like I said previously in my old videos, I had became scared of food, and I was very, very thin. It was not very healthy. It was very scary. Family was crying, praying. My husband was praying and crying, like, getting upset. Not really crying, but, like, he was very upset because I wasn't gaining enough weight and I was just too thin. I was scared of food, scared to touch new stuff. But that's what happens. See, a stroke is a neurological condition, which can also be triggered by mental health, like stress, social media. In younger folks, it could be like trauma. For me, it was stress, trauma. It was just a bunch of things. And the people that didn't take responsibility for their actions and their words still go about their day not giving a shit. And that, to me, is, it's not okay. Like, you have to understand, abuse of any sort, it's not okay. Bullying of any sort is not okay. But my husband has been my biggest supporter. He has been helping me eat, try my old recipes again to make me feel happy and more secure about myself. And I decided, why not? Why not share it with you guys? Because, like, come on. Look at this. This shit looks amazing. And it's going to taste amazing. And I hope that if you're following this recipe, I hope you share it. I hope you like it. And by the way, them soccer moms who talk shit and crap about you, who won the potluck? Who won the fucking church nomination for the best cook, the best recipes, and the best display of dinner? Who was at the family reunion and they now want your shit every year? You did, because you followed my recipes. and it's all here on display in my video. So congratulations to you. You won. And where are they? They're sitting at home eating craft dinner because they couldn't think of shit. They're the ones that put ketchup on everything. So remember that. This is what it looks like on both sides. And all that liquid is literally straight up from the ribs. So I butter, salt and pepper, brown sugar, and I use red and pepper and garlic seasoning, and then a little dash of parsley flakes, and then I barbecue sauced it. Use your favorite barbecue sauce, but like I said, I usually have my favorite, but this is what I had on hand. Put the lid back on and back in the oven for another 2 hours. Now I had started my oven at 400 because, well, half of it was still thawing, and I just let it thaw a little bit, brought it out, did the trimming of the fat, then I brought my oven down to 350, and I like it nice and low, and then I bring it down to the remainder of my cooking. For my ribs, I do a remainder of 200 or 250 around that area. So it works out. Gorgeous. Ooh, that one's a little lanky and thin. I'll just toss it in there, whatever. Anywho. So I've got to finish, gotta finish cutting up my sweet potatoes, and then I'll, wonder if you can see, there we go. Do the rest of my sweet potatoes and get my potato on the way. And after I get all the sweet potatoes and the potatoes on the stovetop boiling or whatever, I'm going to start on stuffing, and then I'm going to do my famous cream peas and carrots. That was an English thing. It's always been in my family, and during my previous videos, as you've seen, it's really easy to frickin' make. And you do the same thing for cream corn, so why not, right? So let's get these boys going. All right, I'm gonna bring the potatoes over. All right. Oh, here's a trick. So you see these little studs, okay? We back home in Alberta used to call them eyes of a potato. Well, they're just roots, but still. So you take the back end, instead of getting yourself dirty, you just gently peel it off. Now look how smooth that is. Huh? Hope you just learned that. Okay. And use my thumb method as a guide, because you don't want to slice your own finger. That would suck. 'Cause baby tonight, the DJ's got us falling in love again. So dance, dance like it's your last dance of your own life, 'cause we're trying to do it right. Just kidding. But yeah. All right. Yes, the perfect skinned potato. Okay, not too worried right now because it is going to get washed, and yeah. So So you want your potatoes and your sweet potatoes around. Well, your sweet potatoes are going to be slightly larger in size. So, see what I mean? But you're trying to go roughly around the same size. Ideally, anyways. All right. Ooh. All right. Oh, I see. Let's get another one. Ooh, yes, buddy. Okay, so the eyes or studs. Either way, that's what they're called. And just gently. You don't want to be like rough and be like, "Ugh." You don't want to be like that. Because there's shit's everywhere. And you're going to hurt yourself. So be safe. Always wash your hands before touching food. I do that before I do anything. I'm always washing between me touching meat, me touching vegetables, me doing placements. I always wash my hands. So please be safe and be careful with how you do things. Cooking is a skill, yes, but what makes cooking amazingly tasty and wonderful and turn out every time is your patience, and just putting care and love into what you do. Like I said, like I put a lot of thought into what I want to cook. So if I want to cook something and say I don't have the necessities for that type of dish, but I have something that I can make kind of similar, improvise. It's not hard. Or make your own dish. But these cheapskate meals that I've been seeing, like, I'll give one cheapskate meal like 10 out of 10 because I've tried it before I had my stroke. And that was the you get a 9x8 pan, I believe, some cherry tomatoes, and you put olive oil, salt, pepper, and you let it bake for a little bit, and then you put cream cheese in the middle after, and then you let it cook additionally, and then you mix it together, and then you can add your freshly cooked pasta to it. And that, to me, that's pretty okay, you know? But like these other cheapskate meals that I've been seeing where some people were like, the worst one. I don't know if that video is up anymore, but I did not agree with it because it was like, okay, we're gonna dump 2 cans of pumpkin pie filling or apple pie, and we're gonna mix it and then do like a dump cake kind of thing with I think it was spice cake or vanilla. I think it was spice cake. And I like Betty Crocker as much as the next person. I really do. But they just dumped it on there, and instead of putting melted butter and then mixing it lightly on your puree food, they just like put little tiny squares, and I'm just like, the turnout of it was supposed to almost look like a cobbler, but it didn't. It just looked like somebody screwed up and they were giving back their dish from Gordon Ramsay and said, please try again. You know, like when you get those Coke bottles and it was those win to play things, and then you had to open up the lid to look at the inside of the lid, and it's either you were a winner or here's a free Coke bottle, or you won this from our site, please enter this code, and there was a please try again. Well, those dishes were the please try again dishes. I just sat there and I'm just like, you know, cobbler's really easy to make. You don't need to do the cheapskate way. But I mean, like, in addition, it does help to do certain cheapskate meals. And not all cheapskate meals are bad. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I've seen certain ones and I just shook my head because I was like, there's an easier way to do it. You know there's an easier way to do it. All right, so you're going to do kind of like a lukewarm water, right? All you're doing is rinsing it. There's my potatoes, there's my sweet potato. Just pull it up a little bit and you're just going to turn and keep turning and turn. So I'll show you here. This is how I wash my vegetables once they're cut up. Okay, so you got your water, right? I'm just gonna keep turning it until all of your potatoes are kind of loose in the pot. And then keep turning it. Lightly, so nothing falls out, but all the grime, the dirt, all the yuckies are basically going bye-bye down the drain. Or you could be unique and different. And a little shake just in case. Oh, and there's just a little bit more in there that's got the no-nos. So let's get all that. Alright, the same thing. Awesome. Now you're not going to put a lot of salt in here. So we're going to fill it back up. Because that's what we do. Filling it back up full of water. Because you want enough water to just cover your potato mash before they become mash. So fill a bit of water up. I'm dropping motherfucking army tank. Alright, so there we go. Let's move to the table. Okay, I'm gonna put some butter, like I'd say 2 teaspoons of butter in my potato and carrots so that we can make our cream peas and carrots. And then as for your sweet potatoes, you don't want a whole lot, just a little bit. And that's it. Turn on to 5. Turn on to 5. Both elements are now on to 5. So we're doing medium heat. Alright, so I drained my sweet potato mash and now we have 2 tablespoons of butter. I just broke the 1 tablespoon in half, so one's over there and one's over here. Now you just lightly salt and pepper it, and that's literally it. Add a little bit of milk, I'll show you. All right. You don't need God. No, not at all. All right. Just a little bit. Now let's mash, because that's what it's gonna be. It's mash, right? Okay. There we go. Squishy. All right. Our ribs are almost done. And make sure there's no clumps in our cream peas. That would really suck. Don't want clumps. Uh-oh. We want it to be nice, thick, sweet, and creamy. Alright, now get our butter going so that we can have our stuffing. Stuffing, same thing. It's all slang. Yay! Alright. Okay. Now it's getting there. Just a couple more minutes and then we take it off and let it set so it can thicken by itself and do its thing. Now let's get our stuffing started. So everybody knows how to make stovetop chicken stuffing, because that's what I use for pretty much everything, including my turkeys. It says it makes 2 cups. You boil 1 cup of water, which is what we have, and we added some melted butter, which we did in our saucepan, as you see. And now we just add our stuff. Alright, give it a nice good mixy mix. Put the lid on. Now let's give it, oh yeah, see, now it's thickening. Turn it on to the element that's not even turned on. And, or should I say moved it to, sorry. And see how thick it is? That's what we want. Yay! Okay, I'm gonna let our stovetop do its thing, and then we'll take our ribs out, plate, and eat. Alright, just pulled these bad boys out. They are done, ladies and gents. Done. Time to turn this off. Yay! Okay, time to plate. Oh, look at the mash and the cream peas and the stuffing and those ribs. Oh. All right, so here's my plate. Oh, I don't know what to go for. Let's go for cream peas. That's a 10 out of 10. Oh, that's good. Okay. I want to go with some stuffing. That's really good. Obviously, it's hot stuffing. Our sweet potato mash. If you know, you know. It is a 15, maybe like a 25 out of 10. It's really fucking good. It's super freaking healthy for you. And I have this Christmas, Thanksgiving, sometimes my birthday. But it's really easy, it's super good, and it's super, super healthy. All right, let's get into these ribs. Now, as my motto is, no small bites, right? Because If you're a small bite and everything, you're not enjoying it. Ooh, that's hot. All right. That's super moist. Super flavorful. It's super delicious. Like, take a look at that. Look at that. I don't know if you can see it. Look at all those juices. It's so amazing. Yeah. The ribs are just amazing. Like, you just can't go wrong with ribs. Like, if you fuck up on ribs, I'd hate to see you at a McDonald's. So, my dinner for tonight, I'd personally rate it 10 out of 10. And I hope you like and I hope you enjoy. Share, like, and subscribe. And please leave a nice comment, please. Thank you. Mwah. See, even the baby likes it.